Welcome back to Kindness Stories, where every tale reminds us that strength, courage, and compassion can change everything. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe and join our family of kindness warriors. Now, let's dive into today's story, a powerful account of one girl's transformation from silent suffering to bold justice. It all started at Lincoln High, a typical American school filled with laughter, pressure, cliques, and secrets. Among the sea of students, one girl always stood out, not because she tried to, but because she did the opposite. Emily Rivers was quiet, reserved, and hardly spoke unless someone spoke to her first. She often wore oversized sweaters, kept her gaze low, and sat alone in the lunchroom, drawing silently in her sketchbook. Emily had moved to town just 2 months ago. Her father had gotten a new job, and they packed up their small life from Idaho and moved to this new city. For Emily, it meant starting over again, a terrifying thought for someone who found comfort in routines and struggled with social anxiety. She didn't mind being alone, but Lincoln High didn't take kindly to different on her first day. Whispers followed her through the halls. People nudged each other when she walked past. It wasn't long before Emily became a target. Some people just have that vibe, that quiet, peaceful aura that others mistake for weakness, and for people like Ashley Matthews and her group of followers, Leah, Tiffany, and Jenna, Emily's silence was an open invitation. Ashley was the queen bee of Lincoln High, blonde, confident, popular, and ruthless. She had a flair for dramatics and an obsession with control. To her, someone like Emily was a threat, not because she wanted Ashley's spotlight, but because she refused to acknowledge it. At first, it was small, the classic bullying checklist. Whispers and giggles when Emily walked into class, a sudden trip in the hallway, a drink accidentally spilled over her art portfolio. Emily ignored it all, hoping they'd get bored, but they didn't. One Thursday afternoon, things went afar. It was the day before Spirit Week, and everyone was buzzing with excitement. The gym was full of banners, the cheerleaders were rehearsing, and teachers were giving out letter assignments. Emily, like always, headed to the art room during her free period. It was her safe haven and escape from the noise and cruelty. The art teacher, Mrs. Redfield, trusted her enough to let her work alone. She was just finishing a charcoal portrait when she heard the door creak behind her. She turned, expecting Mrs. Redfield, but it wasn't. Ashley stood there, smirking. Leah, Tiffany, and Jenna followed closely behind. Emily froze. What's up, Picasso? Ashley said, stepping closer. Drawing your imaginary friends again. Emily clenched her sketchbook and said nothing. Ashley's eyes scanned the room. This place is so boring. Needs a little excitement. Before Emily could react, Leah lunged forward and grabbed her from behind. Tiffany and Jenna quickly helped, and before Emily could scream, they had dragged her to one of the stools and tied her hands behind her back with duct tape. They laughed as they spun her round to face the center of the room. Emily struggled, panic in her chest, her voice caught in her throat. Ashley walked toward her slowly, pulling out a set of markers. Let's give our little artist a makeover, she said. One by one, they took turns drawing on her face, arms, and clothes, laughing, mocking her, taking photos. Ashley drew devil horns on her forehead. Tiffany scribbled freak across her cheek. Leah added squiggles, and Jenna traced tears down her face. Emily's heart pounding. Her breath was shallow. Tears welled up in her eyes, but didn't fall. Her mind raced with fear and shame. Why was this happening to her? What had she done? But as the girls continued, something in Emily clicked. A spark. She remembered her mother's words, the whisper from years ago, when she'd come home crying from school in Idaho. Her mom knelt down, held her face, and said, silence doesn't mean weakness, Em. You are allowed to stand up. You are allowed to roar. That memory gave her fire. As Ashley leaned in to draw something else across her forehead, Emily suddenly kicked the table leg, sending the marker flying. The sound startled the girls. In their moment of confusion, Emily twisted her wrists tight and fists, fought through the pain and jerked hard. The duct tape strained. Once, twice, then snapped. Her right hand was free. With that hand, she tore off the tape around her waist and swung her legs free. The girls shrieked and stumbled back, unsure of what was happening. Asterisk Emily stood, breathing hard, face marked, shirt stained, but something about her eyes had changed. Asterisk Ashley tried to step forward again. What are you gonna do? Cry? Asterisk Emily didn't say a word. She walked to the art shelf, pulled out a thick marker, and calmly approached. Ashley backed up. Asterisk, what are you doing? She asked, suddenly uncertain. Asterisk Emily raised the marker and, with one quick swipe, marked Ashley's designer jacket with a massive black line. Asterisk, you think this is funny? Ashley yelled. Asterisk Emily turned and scribbled a giant star on Tiffany's blouse. Asterisk Tiffany gasped. This is vintage. Asterisk Leah tried to grab Emily, but Emily ducked and marked her forehead with a swirl. Asterisk, you can't touch us. Jenna screeched. Asterisk Emily walked to the center of the room and grabbed her phone off the floor. Ashley had dropped it. During the chaos, with one hand, she raised it and began recording. Asterisk, you tied me up. Emily said clearly, you drew on me. You laughed. But now, let's make sure everyone sees what you really are. Asterisk Ashley's eyes widened. Delete that. Asterisk Emily didn't. Asterisk instead, she calmly walked out of the room, head held high, ignoring the stunned bullies behind her. Asterisk she went straight to the principal's office. Asterisk the video spread faster than wildfire. It was posted anonymously, showing the entire sequence from Ashley taunting her to Emily standing tall. The school erupted. Students were shocked. Teachers were appalled. Even the popular crowd started to question Ashley's reign. Asterisk disciplinary action was swift. Ashley, Leah, Tiffany, and Jenna were suspended for 2 weeks. Community service followed. Their parents were called in. They had to publicly apologize on camera to Emily and the school. Asterisk, but that wasn't the best part. Asterisk, the real victory came later. Asterisk, the art teacher, Mrs. Redfield, nominated Emily's artwork for a regional competition. When Emily won 3rd place, the school featured her in the newsletter. Her drawing of a girl breaking out of chains was printed with the caption, "Strength in silence." Asterisk slowly, Emily began to change. Not completely, but she smiled more, spoke to others. She even joined the art club and helped organize an anti-bullying mural. Asterisk some kids who had ignored her before started sitting with her at lunch. Not because she was a hero, but because she was real, honest, brave. Asterisk Ashley and her group, they returned, but things weren't the same. Their power was broken. They were no longer feared, only pitied. Asterisk one afternoon, months later, Ashley approached Emily in the hallway. She didn't smirk this time. Asterisk I just wanted to say I was a terrible person, she said, looking genuinely uncomfortable. You didn't deserve that, any of it. Asterisk Emily looked at her calmly. No one does. Asterisk Ashley nodded and walked away. Asterisk that night, Emily sketched again. This time, she drew herself standing on a chair not tied, but holding a brush in one hand and a chain broken in the other. Asterisk because Emily had learned that sometimes the strongest voices come from those who speak least. Asterisk when they do speak, everyone listens. Asterisk thank you for watching Kindness Stories. If this story moved you, inspired you, or reminded you of someone brave in your life, please like, share, and subscribe. Let's keep kindness alive, one story at a time. Asterisk.